So we have to talk about it. Okay, we have to talk about this. The AFCON team has officially been announced, and it has been a turbulent 2 weeks for Hugo Bruce and Bafana Bafana. And if it's what it looks like, Hugo Bruce's time as Bafana Bafana head coach might be coming to an end because of all the controversy that surrounds him right now. Let's talk about it though. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Mbokazi situation. Let's talk about the Kaizer Chiefs situation. Let's predict the game against Morocco. I mean, is it against Morocco? I think it's against Morocco. And at the end of the video, stick around to the end of the video to see my predictions for how the squad is going to do at AFCON. So before the preliminary squad was picked for the Bafana Bafana AFCON team, Orlando Pirates went and they won the Carling Cup. I don't think we can make this video and talk about the events that happened throughout this video without mentioning that. Because when you look at it from a coaching perspective, from where Hugo Bruce is sitting, this would have obviously been a huge contributing factor to making the team. And obviously also the fact that Pirates is first in the league right now. Sundowns is looking sketchy, but they're also in second, and they are trying to climb up that table to regain that form. And Chiefs has had some disappointing results, right? Everyone in the league so far has had a little bit of disappointing results, but not like Chiefs. And then after he's taken all this stuff into consideration, right? Kaizer Chiefs being in fourth, Sundowns only being in second, which is relatively disappointing for them after the seasons that they've had, and Pirates being in first, he creates the preliminary team, right? And it's no surprise that there's so many Pirates players on there, right? I don't think there's a single person that was shocked to see that. And the Sewelewele goalkeeper being there, Richard Gross, makes complete sense, right? At times he was the only reason that Sewelewele were in games. You know, that he was the only reason that they were competing at times. So all of that made sense. And for us Chiefs fans, it was a good sign to see players like Brandon Peterson, Bradley Cross, and Duduzi Shabalala. It was a good sign to see them there. Although they were the only three players that were considered to be in the team, for me at least, it felt like a lock. Namely, Bradley Cross and Brandon Peterson, because defensively all season we've been solid. You know, and I've been saying this all season, we have been the best defense in the league. I don't care what anybody says, you know. Mbokazi is good. Yes, Pirates is top of the table. That's fine. But Chiefs has the best defense in the league. I don't care what anybody says. So it was a huge surprise. I get why Shabalala isn't in the final draft. Like, I understand why he would be left out, you know, because although at times he has been the shining star, the only thing to look forward to in the Kaizer Chiefs side, there are players in the league that are just better than him. You know what I mean? So that all makes sense. But when the final list came out and no Chiefs players were on that list, for me it presented a problem. It presented a problem to me because it almost feels like performances in the league don't matter, right? Individual performances don't matter. I mean, look at Bradley Cross. Okay, look at just go look at his stats. Okay, he has had 7 starts. He's played 9 matches. He's been virtually untouchable. Average rating of 7.3. Only 1 yellow card, so he's very disciplined, which means he fits in the Hugo Bruce system. And over the season, he's been so brilliant with link-up play. I mean, he has 84.9, basically 85% pass accuracy, 40.6% cross accuracy, which is very good in this league and in a team that doesn't utilize crosses. If you watch Kaizer Chiefs play, you know that's not how we get goals. That's not the philosophy at Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, I could go on, right? I could go on. His successful dribbles are insane. His touches are brilliant. Fouls won. His defensive stats. I'll put them up on the screen, right? I'll put them up on this side. His defensive statistics are brilliant, right? Only one yellow card the whole season. He's been amazing. And for some reason, he hasn't been put into the squad, right? Even with Brandon Peterson, I could go on and on and on about this. But it's fine. That's okay. Even though it's a controversial squad, it's a squad that when you look at it, you can understand why he made the decisions that he made with the players that he decided to pick. Right? These are players that also have been having great seasons. Right? I'll put the squad up here for you guys as well. This squad individually and in their individual teams has been having a great season. So I get it. But then yesterday, as I'm recording this on the 11th of December. Yesterday, an interview drops, and this started a huge controversy, which I just want to start by saying this. Racism in any way in this country, racism in any way, I mean, from a white person like Hugo Bruce to a black person like Mbokazi, from a black person to a black person, from a black person to a white person, an Indian person to a white person, an Indian person to a black person, any sort of racism to me is inexcusable. It's wrong. Regardless of race, it's wrong. Okay? And it should be punishable. Which is why I was so disappointed to see that uh to see that. Now, it had been made apparent that Hugo Bruce called Mbokazi's discipline into question. Now, this isn't a problem normally, right? This isn't a problem when a coach says that the player is ill disciplined. That's fine. That's okay, right? For me, the first red flag was when he went off at Mbokazi and then revealed that he hadn't talked to him about the situation.
So I will have a chat with him after training.
Right? It started off with him missing a flight from Durban to where they're actually training now. I think they're somewhere in Africa, maybe Morocco. I don't know. I know they're preparing for the game on the 22nd of December, but I'm just not sure where it is.
No, Mbokazi, he just arrived, or we will arrive in 15 minutes, I think. And I didn't want to speak about it, but okay, you asked the questions, and I think you have the right to know that I'm not pleased with what he did. So he let us know that he missed his flight yesterday in Durban. It was the coach of Pirates who informed me. And he was very angry that he missed his flight because, and that is his words, it's an unprofessional attitude. And I think I spoke already to you about the unprofessional attitudes of South African players. You have again an example of it.
So Hugo was not happy about that. He was also not happy about Pirates' response to that. I think I'll just put the clip up.
And then Pirates sent me a message with nonsense, really nonsense, why he missed his plane. And I will not tell you what the nonsense are. Those are nonsense. And that is the worst thing of that the club protect the player of his unprofessional attitude. This is South Africa. And this is very bad.
It makes sense, right? It's okay. But then he makes remarks about his race.
When you're a 19-year-old guy who received a call up for the national team to play AFCON and to play World Cup next year, and the coach give you a few days more off. If you are somebody with a good attitude, you don't even want those 2 days. And you're here on Monday like the other players. So I will have a chat with him after training. And I can assure you he's a black guy, but he will get out of my room as a white guy. Because that I can't accept. But I know why. I know why. Suddenly, Boki is a star. He thinks he's a star. He thinks he has. This is the attitude of a star. I decide when I come. I will explain him. I will explain him. And I'm very angry of his attitude.
Essentially insinuating that black players are ill-disciplined and white players are more disciplined. It's sad. It's sad. And I think everyone has a right to be angry at this. Everyone has a right to be angry at this, right? And there are no excuses for Hugo Bruce. This is honestly, this should get him fired. This really should get him fired because that's just blatantly racist. I don't care what you say, that's blatantly racist. He insinuated that the reason why Mbokazi is ill-disciplined, or the reason why he sees his actions as ill-disciplined, right? He's not saying that Mbokazi is ill-disciplined. He's saying that his actions seem like he is. And the reason why he's saying that is because he's black. Not necessarily because of his actions, but because he's black. It's sad, man. It's sad that we've made so much progress in society, but still at such a major level, we experience these horrible discretions. And it's very disappointing because this is a coach that we've built with. You know what I mean? This is a coach that has brought us so much joy. It's the same coach that led us to beat Morocco, right? Just it feels like just yesterday that happened. The same coach, he led us to qualify for this upcoming World Cup. And then he does this. He sets us back 10 years at least with just this comment. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm the right person to talk about this, but the reason why I'm making this video is because yes, I had a problem with the squad that he picked, but I was willing to be like, okay, you know what? Bruce knows what he's talking about. This is fine. And I still think that he's a great coach. Um, he led us to, what was it, the quarterfinals of AFCON, and he led us to wait, no, was it the semifinals? I think he led us to the semifinals of AFCON in 2023, and he led us to qualify for the World Cup this year. But honestly, honestly, as I'm making this video, literally, I'm not making this up. As I'm making this video, 1 hour ago, I don't know if you can see that. I'll take a screenshot. I'll put it up. I'll read it out for you. It says, Bafana Bafana coach Hugo Bruce to South African Human Rights Commission for alleged racist and sexist remarks over Mbokazi's MLS move and late arrival at 2025 AFCON camp. Right? And I forgot to mention as well, just him, like the comments that he made about Mbokazi's agent and the reason why he moved to Chicago Fire. It was just so unprofessional. It's so unprofessional. Like the post says, it was sexist towards his agent because he insinuated that move was bad because she's a woman.
Can you just about the move to the USA as well? I think it's a good move for him to move to the USA.
I will tell you what I think. No. No. What is he going to do in Chicago? Yeah. It's not even a top team in America. And if my info is right, I don't know. Don't quote me, but because they told me that he will play in MLS 2. That's the second team of Chicago. I don't know if it's the truth, I don't know. They told me. So I will ask him when I see him. That is even worse. But I know what happened. A nice little woman who is his agent and thinks she knows football is doing what many agents are doing. How much can I get? If she's a little bit clever, she knows that there is AFCON, and she knows that next year there is World Cup, that there will be other teams better for his career to go to, and not to Chicago. What is he going to do alone there in a big city like that? So no, I don't think it's a good choice.
Which is, again, ridiculous. And it is so upsetting. Everybody has a right to be angry, and this man should be fired. He's been put into a disciplinary hearing. I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning with this man in his job. You know what I mean? The day I upload this, I'm uploading this on Friday, the 12th of December. When I upload this, I don't think I'll be satisfied if he's still in the job. The post continues. South African political party United Democratic Movement has angrily reacted to the made by the Belgian coach as he took aim at his defender and player's agent who facilitated the transfer from the Buccaneers to Northern America. According to Times Live, a letter to the SAHRC signed by UDM Secretary General Yongama Zigebe quoted Section 9 of the Constitution that expressively prohibits unfair discrimination on the groups of race, gender, and other protected categories. And for this, to be honest with you, I don't understand why the South African FA haven't fired him. Just for this. For the fact that he has broken a law. He has violated our constitution and violated his own players' rights. Just the comments by themselves. Like, ignore the fact that he is the coach of one of the most significant sports teams in this country. Even ignoring that the statements that he's made are so harmful. They're so diminishing. They're so disappointing. You know what I mean? For any white man living in this country, for any man or woman living in this country to make these comments is ignorant. It is ignorant. It is blatantly disgraceful, disrespectful, and it is a fireable offense. I'm going to say this again. I don't understand why the South African FA haven't fired this man yet. This has been going on for 24 hours already. You know, and keep in mind, I want you guys to understand this. He had no reason to attack Mbokazi. And the reason why I say he had no reason to attack Mbokazi is because he himself says in that interview that he has not spoken to Mbokazi. That all of these things that he's saying to the public, by the way, he's saying all of this to the media. He's comfortable in saying all of this to the media. He's saying in that media He's saying that he has not spoken to Mbokazi just yet. Which means, by the way, that this is just a personal attack for no reason. This is just clearly racism. I'm sorry. That's what it is. It's racism. The head coach of the sitting head coach of Bafana Bafana right now, the South African national team, is a racist man. In 2025, the man that is at the moment supposedly going to lead us into the African Cup of Nations is racist. And after making racist remarks to the public, to the media, 24 hours later, he still has a job. Yeah, yes, it's under review, of course, by a political party, by the way, which means we're including politics into sport, which is never a good idea. Regardless of that, even with that, he still has a job. This is not a conversation of whether it's a hate crime or not. No, this is a conversation of whether he should keep his job or not. This is ridiculous. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand. But yeah, man, that's the unfortunate news of today. This this is devastating. This is a slap in the face for every single one of the players. This is a on the face to us fans. This is a slap on the face to everyone, really. That a man can be openly racist in South Africa in such a prominent job and still be in that job 24 hours later. It makes no sense. And it is very disappointing that a man that the country loved so much, a man that led us to so much success in the past 5 years, can be so derogatory. You know, it's sad. It honestly is. It makes me sad. It's very upsetting. And yeah, let's hope that he doesn't have a job tomorrow.